Hello, everybody. I just wanted to show, real fast, I wanted to show a new maze build that I've created for Resonator fighting at your house. It has been working extremely well for me. I do have one more, so I can show this off before this is over. I need to grab a little bit of water. Okay. Grab some water here. There you go, that'll be enough. Alright, so it's a pretty simple idea that I came up with, and it's because I was screwing around with trying to figure out a way to like make it really hard for the enemies and everything, and it really comes down to one big thing. Honestly, it is one big deal. I mean, there's other things obviously, but the one big thing is these gravitational pulls. Sorry. These gravitational grips. These things are absolutely insane. So not only do they slow enemies, they also hurt the enemies with their little waves. Right? So basically what I've done is, now that turrets don't hurt your house, it's not as big as a deal as it used to be. But what I've done is I've decided to make a maze that the enemies have to travel through to get to you. Now, this does not save you from flying monsters. Okay, this is all about the ground monsters. All right, the flying monsters you are going to have to participate in probably, especially the last. So this is another big one. The last monster that comes out, he can basically Kamehameha spirit bomb the shit out of your house and just destroy a bunch of your house and weapons and shit. It's very, very disheartening when it happens. So that's why I've decided to go with the build that I have, because it's two things. A, it's cost. It's the cost. And the structural integrity, right? So if you can see, this is all wood, but then you see this is the highest level, like concrete, steel stuff, right? So the reason I've done this is because I'm reinforcing the places where the guns are at. So if I have a gun, then I'm using the highest. If I have a gun sitting there, then I'm using the highest available, structure, fortification possible. When there's not, it's just regular wood. So, because what's happening is the monsters aren't attacking the walls because they all have a path to go into, right? See, there's a path here. 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 So the point that I'm making is that as long as you have a bunch of available paths for the monsters to come into your house, they won't just try to start beating down the walls, right? That's the pathing needs to get better on the enemies, obviously, right? But so this whole outside ring is just for the monsters to get inside, right? This is an internal like cattle herding, if you want to put it that way, right? So this is the actual entrance into the base now, right? So this whole outside area is just for them to come in, right? And it's just chances for them to take damage and get slowed. So now they come. This is when the gauntlet starts, right? So they they got to get hit by weapons. So I put a weapon here that can see all the way down there, and another weapon down there that can see all the way back here. Then I have a weapon up top, which is a level 2. So now they're getting slowed by these and attacked by these, and they have to come through here and get shot by 3 weapons. And then they got to keep coming through, get shot by more weapons. And they got to keep getting through. And while they're doing that, they're getting killed by these things too, right? So it's just this continuous onslaught, right? And then we get into the main base area, all right? So that's why this is all the highest structure, defensive structure you can make, right? So now they're coming through here. Now they got to get through here. Now they're still getting killed by these. That's why there's not many turrets down here. It's all these little gravitational, because these are killing them too. And now they got to get to the last room. All right, this is the last line of defense right here. So they got a level 2 turret, more gravitational, another level 2 turret, and then a fucking shotgun. If they make it this far, they're insane. All right, I don't know how they would make it this far, but they did. All right, so this is the basic layout of making this. Is that this first ring is nothing but triangles, right? Let's show you. So this first ring is nothing but triangles. Triangle, 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 triangle. That's the first circle. Then after that, it's a square on each opposite of each other, right? So the main 4 sides, right? So north, east, south, west. Look at it like that. So south side has a square, west side has a square, north side has a square, and east side has a square. And then in between, it's all triangles, right? And then you just do that all the way out, right? All the way out to the end. And then what you want to do is, you can see through the wall here, right? So here's my stairs that go up into my house, right? So you want to put a wall here, and then start your way that way, right? And then another wall this way. The way I originally did this was I put the walls up, and then I figured it from there back all the way out, right, to make the maze. Because what I wanted to do was make sure it's the opposite. You always want the opposite. So whatever entrance is farthest away, right? And then they have to go around, right? So we left openings on all the squares. No triangles, right? Because remember, the squares are north, south, east, and west, and they come all the way out. So they come in. They come in. They're like, "Oh, where's the pathway?" And then they go for the pathway, and then they're like, "Oh, I gotta go this way now." And then they go all the way around. They're like, "Oh, look, I made it!" And then they go in, and they're like, all the way around back the other way. See what I'm saying? Now, obviously, you can make this. You could make this even bigger of a maze, right? You could just start here and then go all the way around and then do like a doorway up and over and then all the way around and then up and over and all the way around. You can make it way longer if you really want it, because this is a circle, right? And what I mean by that is right here, you would block off like this side and then go all the way around and come back here, and then you would have an opening here, block that off, and then go all the way around. You know what I mean? But so this is like the simplest way. Wow, that's a mistake. But this is like the simplest way to do it for me. I'm gonna go inside and then I'll go up top. So if you're wondering how I get those level 2s up there, I'll show you in a second. Because level 2s aren't supported by triangles. And level 3s aren't supported by triangles either. So what we've done is the first square on each side, so north, east, south, west again. We put a square here so that we can come outside and we can check things out, right? let's see. Well, these aren't exactly northeast southwest, but you get what I'm saying. So, where's the level 2? All right, so here's a level 2, right? So in order to get a level 2 on here, all you have to do, this is really easy. That's it. Once you put the 2 triangles are opposite each other, then you can lay this down, and then you can come back and destroy this. All right, boom, done, fixed. I don't know why they did it like this. I mean, it makes it just more of a pain in the ass, but hey, it's fine. I would like to have more level 2 turrets around the base, honestly. I haven't really managed this yet. I need to get... I just went out and got a shit ton of mats last night before I went to bed. So... I have a lot of the stuff I need to do that. Because what I would really like to do is have nothing but level 2s on top, and then have a bunch of level 1s on the bottom that they have to get through. Because the reason I want the level 2s on top is so that they can shoot air enemies, and then while the lower ones are taking care of the other ones. But we could do that. But yeah. So you can see, I gave myself multiple exits out here, so I could come out and see what's going on. The only reason I don't have on every single side is because of this reason. Well, I kind of do. I just can't access it. I don't even know why I have a door there. Right. Oh, shit. I needed to just put a wall there and be done with it. Oops, wrong way. So that's the thing, is as long as the monsters have a... if they have a pathing that they can get to, they're gonna path, right? So... Then we put concrete right here. Boom. Now we're going to move you back. Boom. Done. All right. If you can manage to put one on each side, north, south, east, west, or whatever, if you can manage to put one on each side, that's great. That's good for you. That'll make it easier for you to deal with the monsters, because again, when that last boss monster comes, that's the one you have to fucking help out and kill, because it will spirit bomb your house and do a shit ton of damage. I didn't get to it last time, and it actually destroyed like 4 of these wooden walls, which is fine because they're easy to replace. That's why they're wooden and they're not the highest defensive material. Because trying to repair the highest defensive material all the time is a huge pain in the ass. And I'll show you why. It takes 54 brick just to keep my house, maintained, right? To build those, it costs tons of bricks, and then to repair them, it costs tons of bricks. And bricks are a real big pain in the ass to make. It's a lot of charcoal, it's a lot of gravel, so it's a lot of wood, tearing down wood, a lot of burning wood, because it's 3 charcoal per 1 brick. Right, so you need a ton of wood to make bricks. So what I would rather do is spend gravel and wood, which is easier to gather, right? Which I would have to gather wood anyway if I wanted to do bricks, right? But this way, and it's easy to replace, right? I could just plop down some wood real fast because it's easy. It's an easy material to have. Because that's the other problem with bricks, is that it takes a long time for you to actually make the bricks. Like if you do 99 bricks in the oven, in the furnace, it takes 20 minutes or 15 minutes, some high ass number, right? So that's another reason why we don't want to do that. But it also is because, mainly it's because this is a defensive base, And we want things that are destructible, that are important, so that way we can easily replace them and we can easily farm for the mats for them, right? Versus if I had this whole base as the highest stuff, I would have to farm my ass off, and I would have to take like an entire day and farm and melt stuff down and furnace stuff and all that just to maintain it and just to repair it. That's the other fucking problem, right? Is repairing, right? Because if you look, well, right now it's just this, but I'm gonna confirm that. But like when the concrete and stuff gets damaged or destroyed or really damaged, it takes a lot to repair it. So that's why we're trying, like, again, that's why we're doing what we're doing. The main base is made out of the concrete, right? The steel concrete. This is the roof. So like I said, your first base is going to be nothing but triangles, right? And then after that, north, east, south, west is going to be a square, and then you're gonna have triangles in between those, right? This will be your main base when you make this. Now the difference is going to be at the bottom. You could put columns in like I did, and then put the walls in, or you could just put the walls in first and then build on top of that. I put columns in there because I think it reinforces it. Not for sure on that, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. That way, if a wall does go down, the columns in there will stay and it'll keep the house up, right? That's another great thing about columns. So it's basically like having rebarb in your house, right? But you can get a better picture of how this works when you're looking at it like this. Let's see if I can't get up here. No. Ow. Let me get on top real fast, and then I'll show it from up there, and then we will do the other thing. Now what you can do is if you're earlier in the game, right, you don't need that outside wall, right? You could just do that one doorway, right, and then no walls on the outside. You could put the platforms down all the way around, right? You don't have to put the walls up. I just did it because I did it. I just it's like an extra defensive measure. I could go around and take all those outside walls down if I wanted to, because they're not crucial to the format, right? What's crucial is all this interior. These two sets of walls here are crucial to making this work. So if you're just starting building your base, right? All you have to do is go get a whole bunch of gravel, go get a whole bunch of wood, and then start building. It's really not hard to make the base in the first place at the start. This base particularly, it's actually not very hard to make it. If you're gonna do it all pure out of wood, it's pretty easy. But again, they have to go through certain things to get to the house and blah 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 blah. You could even start it out with just this first wall here. This wall I'm pointing at. So you see how this comes all the way around and back into here. So you could just do this first wall. So do your house, and then do this first wall all the way around, right? With this entrance, right? So the entrance to your house is there. See, right there. And then the entrance is here. So they would have to go in and all the way around to get into your house. This could be your first level, and then you add this, right? And then you add this. You could easily do that too, right? In stages, right? But I'm so far in the game right now. I'm at the end of the game. So I have the materials and everything to do this pretty easily. So let me get inside the house. There we go. Try this again. Okay, I got it. All right. So you get a really good view from up here about this. Again, it's it's 3 sets of circles, right? And you're opening to your house as the start, and then you go up and around over and over again, right? I mean, it's very simple. It's very simple. Hopefully that it's not confusing to people, but the best way to do it, and to make it easy, I'll show you the way to make it easy for yourself, so that way there's no confusion. Where is it? Okay. So we build our house. Remember how I showed you up top, right? So you have the inner, and then you do the one outer, and then this is your main base, right? So what we do is build this interior and the stairway up here to your house. Build all this first, right? So imagine the rest is gone. All this isn't here. All that you have is this interior, and then this, right? Or this, you have all this. I'm sorry. You'd have the inner side, and you'd have this one outer ring, right? So imagine that goes all the way around. There's nothing out here. There's no walls or something above me, nothing. I'll try to make sure I'm not being stupid about this. Hold on. Yeah. So remember this: the first inner and the first laydown is going to be your triangles, and then the next is going to be square, triangle, square, triangle, all the way around. Right? That's going to be your main base. So the inner is going to be your resonator spot. What we do is, where we put our stairs, we put a wall, right? We're going to put a wall all the way around, because this is the entrance now, right? So you just start a wall from the stairs going out until you get to the other side, right? Can I get up here? Because I want to show... Alright, where's the entrance at? Entrance is over there, isn't it? Ah, shit. I should just build a ladder so I can get up there, but... Because you're basically just going to start from where your entrance to your base is, and then wrap the wall around until you come to the end and put a wall, and then go back the other way, right? Or you can keep it going around. It depends on how you want to do it. Try this again. Okay. So there's the entrance, right? So I did it all the way around. So look, so here's the entrance to my base. You come out, and then you build a wall. So as soon as you come out, you put this wall here, and go all the way around, and then open a wall here, and then get all the way back around, and then you do a wall there, right? And then you'll have your outside wall, right? See what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to understand that you're blocking off the entrance to your base, and then putting a wall all the way around, and then opening a hole, and then making it go all the way around the reverse, the opposite way. Because what you're doing is you're forcing the enemy to go the longest way possible to get all the way around to your, to your base, right? So here's the entrance. They got to go up and all the way around down to here, and they go up and all the way around just to get into here. See what I'm saying? So they come in. Whoop. So they come in. They got to go all the way around the base through those walls to come into here. Then they got to go all the way around the base again to get to this one. And then they got to go inside, right? Now, you could do that again on the outside, but the problem is there's a possibility if there's only one entrance that the mobs will get upset and they will start trying to go through the walls because there's not enough entrances for them to get to because the pathing isn't great for them right now. They're kind of mindless sometimes. So I hope that explains. I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about now. Okay, for this whole setup. last boss is always the last. You always have to kill the last boss yourself. Never screw around with that. And you always want to kill the flying mobs too if you get a chance. So we'll go ahead and start it up here. And I'll show you. Yep. Shut this door. Shut that door. Shut. No, shut this door. I'm gonna go up top so you can see what's going on. And that way I have a better way of shooting the boss. Oops. So you can see the enemies are getting through, but they're dying to get through. See how they're just sitting there on the wall right there? They're not attacking the wall. They're getting killed by the gravitational holders. Ooh. Now you get this where they'll spawn through, or not spawn through, but they'll glitch through the wall sometimes. See how it's killing it? And dead. See? No damage to the wall. I'll even show you. Well, when I get down there, I will. Okay, so now there's the little beamy boys. These we want to kill ourselves. If I had enough turrets, it wouldn't be a big deal, but the air ones are the ones you always want to kill. Where is it? Yeah, I need to put triangles up out here or something. Make it some way for me to be easier. Oh, whoops. Oh, come on, man. Oh, the last boss is up. Where is he? No! God damn it. That's what I was talking about. So there's the spirit bomb. And I did a shit ton of damage to my base. Of course he would be on a side where it would be like super hard for me to see. Damn it. Yeah, see, I kind of got out there and got him easily with this. Like bang, bang, bang. Yep. Damn it. Okay, let's go look at the damage so we can see. Grab this. Can you just let me grab this? All right. Okay. So he destroyed a turret. He destroyed a few walls. That's what he did. Yep. He destroyed one of my turrets and he destroyed a couple walls. And I'm sure the let's look to see, because it's a really powerful spell. Yeah, look at that. See, that's why you have to use the highest. Well, the good news is that everything else is fine. All right, so we took very minimal damage there compared to what it could have been. Where I have taken the damage that I have taken before is like insane. All right, and it's fixed. I just got to replace the turret now. I mean, it's this is what I'm talking about. This is why this is such a good. So this is the farthest one got. The farthest I got was almost into the almost into here, but they never would have made it. Honestly, usually these are guys that just happen to spawn here. I don't think that they're ones that have actually came from the very outside all the way inside. Am I tripping? Okay. Because it's pretty impossible. Honestly. Now, I would love to do level 3s, but I don't know if they're worth it. I haven't really tested any of that stuff. The level 1s and level 2s are pretty weak. They did get nerfed by the devs. But this, to me, this is one of the better builds you can make in this game for PvE purposes. PvP, that's a different story. They're just going to lob fucking grenades and RPGs and shit at your house anyway, so it doesn't matter, right? It'll be a completely different story. You'll have to have like two outside walls and all the way up to the top of your house and blah blah blah. So it's gonna be crazy if they do that, but I hope they don't. Anyway, so you get the gist. I put, so just to let you know, I was putting these upper turrets on the square nodes or structure. I don't know why I said node. Around the outside, so no triangles, just squares. And then in the corners, we were putting level 2s for sure. You're putting level 2 in the corner because that's where it gets the most exposure in the corner. But they're all top tier concrete. Steel concrete. Let's go see how much the repair is going to cost for this endeavor. Oop, wrong one. What am I doing? Repair. Repair all. It's going to cost 5 brick, 13 wood, 3 steel, 1 gravel, and 1 copper. Easy. Easy repairs. Easiest repairs of my life. Right? Plus the cost of replacing the wood walls that I did, right? So think about that. If it would have been concrete, like the steel concrete, it would have cost me a lot more steel, a lot more brick to replace or to fix. Especially since, like, yeah, the walls wouldn't have broken. For sure they wouldn't have broken. But that's where you as the player have to get involved with the last boss and make sure he doesn't do it. If you do upgrade well enough to have level 3s and it does kill him fast enough, then yeah, good for you. You don't have to worry about it. But you're going to be doing the Resonator anyway, so you might as well just be ready to kill him yourself. But I hope this was helpful. Like, see right there, see what I'm saying? Every square, there's a turret. Square, turret. Square, well, that's the entrance, so that doesn't count. Square, turret. You get the gist. So, we have turrets up top, and we have turrets down on inside the walls themselves, like that, just to give all that extra. Man, he was on this side too when he did it, and these turrets. See, that's the other problem. If there's too many enemies, these turrets will be occupied with them and not killing the big boss, right? And then obviously they can't kill the boss right away too fast. Obviously, you could add another triangle like here. But the reasoning I don't do that is because I want these two to have full view of monsters coming through here to get the maximum amount of shooting time, on those mobs, right? If I want to add more damage, I'll just put more turrets on the bottom, at the bottom underneath these guys as well, right? I'll have level 2 there, level 2 there, level 2 there, level 2 there. Problem is power, right? Power is a big deal in this game. Right now I have 4 because I have a hive of my own. If you have a house, you just can't do this. There's no way. You have to have a hive to have this many. Not level 3 yet. Yeah, it would be nice. But eventually, I think we can have 6. I'm not sure. It's either 4 or 6. But these give out 30 watts each. So he's maxed. No usage there. And then 30 watts used there. So, and what I did is I connected all 3 of these, or all 4 of these together. And I like that because now I can see how much wattage I have open, right? So I have 30 watts there, and I have like 8 watts there open. So I have 38 watts available to me. I'm not sure how many watts that these level 3 turrets use, but it's got to be a lot because the level 2s use 8, I do believe. So it's a balance, you know what I mean? It's a really big balance on. Yeah, it's just a big balance. Put it that way. You can stick with level 2s, or you can upgrade to level 3s. You know, it just depends on what you want to do and what power usage you have and what materials you have. So, but you guys get the gist of this. I just wanted to do this real quick. So that way I could post it on Twitch, and I might even post this on YouTube. So I hope you like the build and people get to use it and it helps out. So thanks and have a good one.